Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the finale here at Hockenheim for SnB's EuroNASCAR series. Last week we saw two new winners at Silverstone, with TomTom getting redemption from lagging out while in the lead the week before. We also saw Rangers take the lead early in the first race and increase the gap throughout the whole field, so that was really cool to see. So he won his first race of the season. Who's gonna win tonight? You guys are gonna have to stay tuned to find out, but from what it looks like so far, Skyland will be the winner of the series. So really cool to see that out here. Huge congratulations to him. I don't want to jinx him, but J-Mac, correct me if I'm wrong. What it's looking like with the amount of people that we have in the field, Skyland will be our series winner.
Yes, so we needed a lot of drivers to show up tonight, but it looks like we're going to have a field of about 8 for our races this evening, which is fine for our finale. But yes, I believe that low of a field will lock up the championship for Skyland. We still have an incredible battle for that second spot between several drivers. I believe there's 3 right on top of each other: Leaf, Justin, Rangers, and TomTom Flitty. So it's going to be an incredible battle for second. But yes, the first place championship winner is going to be Skyland 4. He clinched that last week with, well, technically I guess he clinched that this week with the number of drivers that showed up, but he will be your champion at the end of the night.
It's going to be a wild one. Hello everyone out in chat. I hope you're having a great night tonight. You guys can see the points there. I do need to give a shout out to Hall for the 1,000 biddies. Thank you so much. He's one of the drivers out here tonight, so I wish him a lot of luck. We also have Sober David, who has subscribed again for 23 months, and he says, "Why must this end?" I agree. It's been such a fun series. And a lot of you guys out there are talking about the race yesterday in the rain. It was absolutely wild, and here we are again. And from what I'm understanding, we could see some rain tonight too, right here at Hockenheim. So we'll see what happens. But we have 2 races as usual, and tonight is the finale races. So really cool to see. I'm a little sad, but these guys are getting ready to go to qualifying. So whenever they are ready, we're going to watch them go in there. Let me know who you think is going to win. Earth, what's up? Great to see you out here. Goat, how are you? Sober David, Mr. Met, you guys are awesome. Hope everyone's night is going well tonight. I'm excited. I'm a little sad. I always get sad for the finales, but Sky has just been so strong out here. And who was it? Who else was there? Hawk, he had 228 points, I think it was. He was not able to show up to everything, but I'll tell you what, if he was able to show up to every race, he would be up there with Skyland, battling for the win out here for the series championship. So really cool to see out there. J-Mac, any predictions as we go into tonight at Hockenheim?
Hopefully some craziness. I mean, it's the last race of the season. Again, gonna be watching that points battle for second spot, and really excited to see how it goes out. I think we're about ready to get to qualifying here.
Absolutely. Goat says the cars were on a slip and slide. It is crazy. Yes, it was absolutely wild, and I think the same is going to be here tonight. But you know what? Chase won. I'm excited for him. I know he didn't want to win under those conditions, and I didn't want to see him win under that condition because I know he's got the capabilities to do it without that happening. But it was cool to see, so I'm excited for him. But yeah, absolutely wild race out there. As Savage says, where did I get all these points at? The points have been insane. We have Earth out here with 1,000 biddies. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hall out here gambling. Did it work? Oh yeah, he lost it. I bet he's wishing it didn't work. All right, guys, for the final time tonight, we have, well, actually, not for tonight, for the season, for the series here, for the EuroNASCAR series, we have qualifying. Let's take a look at what these guys can do and who's going to be on pole. I think it's going to be tricky this time around. It's going to be very interesting to see who gets on pole. Who was the fastest one out in practice there, J-Mac? Do you remember?
I think it was Rangers. I think Rangers had the fastest clean lap time, and again, here in qualifying, the clean laps are what are going to matter, and this track has some pretty strict track limits, some pretty tough corners, some fast corners, some tight corners, some deceptively quick corners that'll slide you out to the outside. It's really easy to track extend in several places here, so it's going to be pretty tough for these drivers to put down a clean lap, but hopefully they are able to, as we're watching them work their way around this circuit.
Absolutely. And you know, there's a lot of corners that are pretty tough here to handle. You get very loose coming off of them. The track gets super narrow in several spots, so that could be an issue for these guys as they're battling it around, trying to gain some positions out here. So that's going to be something else. You can see the track right here, very, very narrow, and if you're going too wide, you can see some guys really locking up the brakes. So that is going to be a place we are going to have to watch. Justin getting completely sideways, trying to battle it out. These guys are ghosted, so it's not really affecting them. All they have to do is worry about their line, worry about their time, and keep it on the track.
Yeah, it's still really surprising to see how many of these guys are on top of each other right now.
Right?
Even with it being ghosted, it can be incredibly distracting to see that ghost in front of you, especially once it gets far enough ahead of you to be a solid-looking car on your screen. So, really interesting decision for these drivers for some of these. There's about 4 directly on top of each other, including Leaf Justin 24, David MC, Gary from Canada, and Hall M. Those 4 probably not going to put a great lap time here. I'm going to be curious if any of them are going to try to bail out of this group to try to get a better lap and have a cleaner lap ahead of them.
You know, and then we have on the opposite end, we have Rangers who chose to go out completely by himself, really far behind from everyone else ahead of him. And like you said, he had the fastest lap in practice. So I'm very curious to see what he can do here. So far, we have Justin with a 1:34.1. He has the fastest lap. We'll see if anyone can beat him on this final lap here. Tire wear, Goat says, will be a problem. Savage, what's up? He's rooting for David. I'm loving it. Yeah, David's so awesome out here. He gives himself such a hard time, but he does better than he gives himself credit for. Let's take a look at Hall. We've shown almost everyone out there, I do believe, so we'll take a look at him. Doing great in points. Let's take a look. He is 7th in points with 287. He's had a lot of battles out here with David now that we're talking about it. So it's going to be a pretty close battle for those guys in points. So I'm really interested to see what they're going to do tonight at Hockenheim. Will we see some more battles like we have been with these two? It'll be something to look out for sure. Stratus, what's up? How are you? Goat says locking the brakes in the real race will be a problem. It's huge. It is a huge problem. You have to be super gentle on the brakes. You can really lock them up and it's going to hold you back. And when you get back on the gas, it can really get you sideways. So those are going to be 2 huge things. And there is a lot of corners out here to watch out for. So these drivers have a lot on their plate tonight there, J-Mac.
Yeah, they're going to have a lot on their plate, and it looks like Leaf Justin 24 putting down a good lap. Not sure if it's going to be clean or not. Obviously, we won't find out until we get around, but it looks like he's been able to close the gap on the 8 of Tom Flitty, who's been able to put down some really fast lap times. Justin goes a little wide in the penultimate corner. Tom puts down a good lap. He finishes his qualifying session. Leaf Justin gets incredibly loose off the final corner, and that is going to ruin his lap time, and that's unfortunate for him. But the sound of things, yeah, he's going to be coming from the back.
Yeah, I heard him say, oh, I'm the only one with a dirty time. Really unfortunate, because not only do you have to get a fast time, you have to get a clean lap. And so far, Skyline has the fastest lap with a 1:29.7. So we'll see if anyone else can. Well, actually, it's already over. So yeah, he should be on pole here for it. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. So we'll go back, take a look at where these guys are starting. Tom Flitty with a 129.7, absolutely crazy. Where's Sky at? I don't even see him. Okay, 129.706. Take a look at how close that is. A 706 compared to a 731 with Tom. Justin is the only one with a dirty lap, so he will be moving to the back, but he had a 129.8. So very close times for these guys. I'm pretty impressed out here.
Yeah, incredibly close between our front row. That's pretty exciting to see. Hopefully this race is as close for these drivers as qualifying is. We're gonna get ready here to get set up. Hopefully I don't screw up any settings and we can get her going here.
For the final time, we got to worry about those settings. It's crazy. I keep talking to J-Mac about it. I'm like, I cannot believe how fast this series has gone. It's been so much fun, and there has just been gobs and gobs of crazy battles out there, just bumping and banging and going back and forth, and it's been pretty clean considering, but it's just been very action-packed. So really cool to see for these guys. I'm excited for them. Let me know in chat who you are rooting for. We have some for David. Sky's already pretty much, he's got it locked in. He's got the series championship, but I want to see who you guys think is winning individual races. We're headed to race number 1, and we're about to find out. Goat says we need an iRacing oval season. You know, one of these days, when I get a little bit more time on my hands, maybe that'll happen. I think I have joined a league for tomorrow night, so it'll be my very first league on there. I'm super nervous, so we'll see how we do. It'll be in the truck series. David, you never know. Goat, yeah, I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that. You're hoping for a top 5. Hall, you guys have been battling it out all the time. I swear, you and David just going back and forth. It's been fun to watch. There's been so many groups. There's been like 2 to 3 groups where they just have incredible battles throughout both races of the night. And it's usually with the same people. And I know for the first several races, Dion, who let's show his car. I usually go through and show his car, everyone's car, but he said that he has finished every single race for the first several races in 6. It's pretty wild how that's worked out, but yeah, that's been the case for him. Let's go through all the paint schemes while we're waiting. You see Justin's number 24. He's got Go Leafs Go. You got Skyline in that number 49. Rangers in his number 11 for the company he has. Very cool. Paul M34 with his shake and bake purple car. David MC with his number 89. Gary from Canada with his 68. I love that gold. That's pretty cool. And Tom Flitty with the number 8 out there. All right, it looks like we're getting those settings done, and we'll be headed to race number 1. Have you tried the next gen cars? I absolutely have. Very, very easy to drive, compared to the regular cup cars. So very different. I tried it at a road course, and that didn't go too well. I don't know if you've tried it, but it did not go well for me at a road course. How are things looking, J-Mac? He's probably like, leave me alone. I'm trying to get it. All right, launch countdown. Here we go, guys. Ready for race number 1 at Hockenheim National Circuit, I do believe. I can hear these guys talking over the radio. It's cracking me up. You did at Darlington unranked. The carnage was crazy. All right, here we are up here at Hockenheim National Circuit. These guys are gonna do a pace lap. 17 laps tonight for race number 1 and race number 2. J-Mac, anything we should watch out for the first lap here?
Turn 1, definitely. Definitely turn 1. We're going to have to watch out for. Easy to track extend there, and we're going to try to officiate track extending a little harder, and that's actually something that I have not clarified with the guys, and that's probably really late to do on their pace lap, but we're going to see if we can get a hold of them right quick.
All right, well, while you do that, let's take a look at Skyland. He will be leading us off here. Tom Flitty. These guys, the time's so very close. Tom showed up late to practice, and I was really impressed with his time there. He's been strong all for the series. We'll see how he does here. Got himself a win last week along with Ranger, so really fun to see that happen here. Fly, thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. These guys are coming around the final few corners, and they will be starting off on Skyland's go here. Skyland does have this series locked up for the championship. A little rivalry going on from what I'm understanding from last week between him and Rangers, who is actually directly behind him. So
yeah, starts directly behind him going into turn 1. So actually turn 2 will be a little bit more interesting of a place, but
yes.
Here we go, getting ready to go.
It'll be very interesting, that's for sure. What will replace this league race? We're going to have the Indy cars up next. It's going to be on Forza Motorsports 7. John B. Marine, how are you? Hope you're doing good. Happy Monday. Here we go. We're coming around the final couple of corners. Sky will be leading us off, and as I said, we do have a little rivalry going on between him and Ranger, so I'm curious what's going to happen with that. Hopefully nothing too damaging, but tricky corners as turn 1 will approach pretty quickly, so it's going to be very interesting to see. These guys are off and running, and Tom has a fantastic start directly next to Sky. A little bit of contact there. Ranger's going underneath, and I think he just decides to let him go. He's got the championship in the bag, so I don't think he's going to do anything too crazy tonight. Not going to sacrifice anyone else's race.
Gave him a warning to watch the track extending, and a couple of them went incredibly wide there. They're in turn 1 on lap 1. So, yeah, very interesting. But, hey, a little bit of contact. Our pole sitter all the way back to the 4th spot. Meanwhile, Tom Flitty and Rangers in a heated battle for that lead.
Yeah, Rangers in first, Tom P2, Hall looking up here in a P3, Skyland in 4th and 5th, I do believe. That is Leaf Justin. Let's take a look back here from his angle, and we'll watch some of the racing here. Guys, starting to get a little spread out, but still pretty close together where anything can happen. Skyland, you can see it up there. He is all over the back bumper of Hall. We'll see if he can hold him off, but it is so super close up here. And up ahead, Jordan, we have Tom on top of Rangers.
Yeah, Tom on top of Rangers, but meanwhile that battle for 3rd is about to heat up. We got Skyland working on Hall, and directly behind them, Leaf Justin, who started 8th, already worked his way back up to the 5th spot after a disastrous qualifying run. It looks like Skyland, he's going to peek to the inside, I think just trying to see where his marks are. They're going to go into the corner. They're going to be really nice and smooth off of that corner. Hall taking a very defensive line to try to defend on Skyland. Skyland's going to look to his inside here. He's going to get to his right side, able to outbrake him as they go through the corner. Hall will have that outside lane to get a jump. Skyland gets a little too much throttle, but he's going to have that outside lane for the straightaway. Justin's going to follow him through, so Hall's going to move back 2 spots here.
As John says, a little NHL love in the field, absolutely. But man, this battle is insane. Justin and Sky have made it past, but the battle that these guys were having, absolutely incredible. Skyland up to P3, Justin in 4th, and Skyland gets super loose there and goes completely sideways as these guys are making their way around the corner. Very close call for them.
Yeah, really close. Saw the smoke back there, but they're still side by side trying to work on each other, going through the tightest part of the course.
I want to take a look at the leaders, see what's going on with these two. Rangers still in the lead with Tom Flitty right behind him. Not much of a gap out here out front, so anything can happen, and we've seen it so many times where somebody has been in the lead. Something happens to them. They get loose, they mess up somehow, and the lead goes to somebody else, so anything can happen. Rangers is looking for win number 2 along with Tom Flitty. Rangers with the fastest lap time with a 1:29 so far. He is out front, and as long as he can stay consistent and keep his line going, he is on a run. I mean, doing really great. And I spoke to him before this, and I said, Rangers, are you ready to get another win here? And he's like, you know, I don't know. He didn't sound too confident with it, saying that other guys had some quicker lap times, but I'm seeing a little bit of the opposite here, J-Mac.
Yeah, he's a little bit of a well-known sandbagger. He usually likes to hide his times and hide his confidence, but he's out there in the lead. Tom running well here in that second spot, trying to keep up with him here. But Rangers getting a little later entry into that corner that goes into the little infield loop or horseshoe. Rangers sticks a right rear tire out in the grass, really has to save it, but still gets down to speed really well as these two continuing to try to leg out of distances. We've had a change for third. Leaf Justin 24 is in the third position.
Let's take a look out here. Skyland has really backed off. He's played it pretty aggressive. We've seen him battle it out with guys. But I feel like tonight he knows he's got the championship here, so he's just going to have fun, lay back, see what happens. He'll get what he can get, but he's not going to push the issue. Maybe that'll change later on. We're only on lap 5 of 18 as they go side by side, so he's like, you know what? Hold on, Frozen. I got this.
Allen gives plenty of room, almost has to cut the corner just a little bit. Justin gets on the throttle a little too early, trying to get a run from that bottom lane. That's going to allow Skyland to cross him over as they go down into the little mini hairpin. It's a little double right, very tough, really slick, kind of narrow, and not really any good marks to get down to speed. So it's a tough little corner as they head back onto the main GP circuit, as this circuit just cuts off a tiny little part of the what is now a former Formula One course, but these guys trying to use everything they can. Justin with a little track extension there as they continue on down the drag strip and back into the little loop.
We're going to take a look at P5 right now. That is Hall M34 out here kind of by himself. I mean, he's still got those two ahead of him, and he's got some company behind him, but these guys are really tight racing, and he just has to keep it consistent to keep those guys away from him and hopefully pull in the guys in front of him as they battle it out. Meanwhile, let's take a look at 6, who is Dion 4 Dub. He's got some company behind him of David. We'll see if these guys can battle it out for position, but right now Dion is 6 and David in 7th. Gary before this, J-Mac, he goes, just, you know, don't show me on stream, just show everyone else. I don't want to be shown if I'm wrecking. And here I am. We got to show Gary some love.
You know, what's the point of him making a nice bright gold Bitcoin car? It's once again keeping up with the theme of memorials to our long lost friend Tristan Health, known as Element Zero. Wherever he is at this moment, we're thinking about you in these tough times. But there goes Gary from Canada in his beautiful '68 machine. Trying to work his way around the track, lighting up the tires, really going wide in every corner. But he looks like he's having a lot of fun wheeling that bright gold. It looks like a candy wrapper. Honestly, it looks like it belongs around a Hershey's Kiss. He's driving the little Hershey's Kiss around the track. That's what we're gonna call it now. He's
our little Canadian Hershey Kiss. Gary from Canada. All right, let's go back to first place. That is still Rangers, and the gap between him and second of Tom Flitty has increased, J-Mac. Rangers just really lighting up those brakes, really putting it around that corner and doing a great job out there. Tom still trying to hold on to it, trying to catch up and do what he can, but Rangers, as you said, he is known to kind of sandbag out there and say, you know, I'm not exactly confident, and then this happened. So doing a great job out there. We'll see if we can't bring him his second win of the season here tonight.
Yeah, he's running really quick lap times. They don't look the smoothest of laps with all the smoke, the tire smoke that we're seeing, and the little bit of black rubber being put down on the pavement. But otherwise, the 11 car really moving around this racetrack. Tom Flitty driving really hard to try to keep up with him. Tom with a big track extension there, and about to have to put the official's hat on here in a minute if these guys can keep it on track.
Oh my goodness, you guys in chat gambling. All these wins. Stratus, you're on a win streak, man. You need to go to the boats or something. I don't know. Hope there isn't a Detroit Red Wings or a Montreal Canadiens car also. No, I don't think so. It's a Leaf car, definitely. And I saw a gold chrome Ferrari F40 in another game once. That's pretty wild. I love all the different paint schemes that these guys have. They do a great job. Love painting them. So it's really cool what they can do out here. But I feel like, let's take a look at third. Sky. Jordan, is he closing that gap? It kind of looks like he might be closing that gap to second place here.
Yeah, he's slowly starting to run down our two leaders. The first driver that he will catch is the 8 machine of Tom Flitty. As they're working their way around. They will have 10 laps to go when they cross the finish line the next time around. So right now, Skyland still a decent chunk of time to run them down. Not sure if he's going to be able to run down Rangers, but as I say that, it looks like Tom might be shortening that gap between himself and our leaders. So it's going to be real tight, real tough to see. But I think Rangers can get, or I think Skyland can get to that 8 machine of Tom. I'm not sure he has enough time to get to Ring.
Yeah, you can see I'm on Sky and the...
Oh, he slid it. He's wrecked it.
Oh, yeah, going through the sand there and the gravel. Man, hard times for him. You could take a look at the right rear, and that's starting to not look too pretty here. So we'll see what happens with him, but that has cost him a spot and a little bit of time. So we have 2 groups out here, the top 4 in a group here, and then we have another pack that includes the final 4. So really unfortunate for Skyland right there.
Yeah, and for my money, that is the toughest turn on the course. It kind of comes up out of nowhere. There's a sand trap really close. That's where the track really narrows up that little loop, and it's a really quick corner. It's a sweeping corner, and the rear end it's really easy to break traction, especially on a wheel like Skyland is on. So that's a tough place to get through, a tough track or a tough part of the track to negotiate. And like I said, for my money, I think that's the toughest turn on the racetrack.
You know, taking a look at all these guys and their tire wear, Skyland had the least amount out of the top 4 as far as tire wear goes. He's doing a great job of saving that, but going off track really kind of hurt that left rear tire. So we'll see what happens with that. But being on a wheel, and this guy really knows this game, the ins and outs, and how to save those tires. He's doing a phenomenal job at that. But I'm curious, Rangers seem like he had a little bit more tire wear than most of the others. So how is that going to affect him out there as he is in the lead right now? I feel like Tom might be closing the gap a little bit. Third place of Justin. I feel like that is still about the same, considering Skyland was in front of him, and since that happened, he has since fallen to 4th.
Yeah, he's fallen to 4th. That battle for 3rd probably gonna be back on here in a little bit, as it looks like Rangers starting to leg out on Tom. But to go back to you were talking about tire wear, from most of our experience with Forza, most of my experience with Forza, once you get to about 20 to 30% wear, that's honestly when the car feels at its best on this game, when they're a little lightly worn, a little yellow on them, and it doesn't really change for the worse until about 70%. I've heard from other drivers that race in it that there is actually sort of a steady loss of grip that comes along as you wear these tires, even in those percentages that don't give you little warnings like this game does. So it's really curious to see if that is going to affect Rangers. Again, the difference in tire wear between these two, and honestly going to be Leaf Justin involved in that as well as Skylin is. Again, that'll be controller versus wheel. It's a little easier to say tire on the wheel, but conversely, it always seemed a little bit harder to control your race car with the wheel as opposed to a controller. So that's just the yin and yang of everything with these short races. Tire wear not really a factor, but as hard as some of these guys are driving with still a decent amount of race to go, it could play a factor here before too long.
Skylin getting completely sideways going through the corners. He's really diving it into the corners compared to Justin. Catching back up to this group here. Pretty incredible. I want to take a look at chat though. Bernard, what's up? Welcome. This one is NASCAR. We're going to be doing IndyCar next. I do a little bit of iRacing and I also announce on there. So a little bit of variety out here. John says the top 4 have checked out on this one. This is the first race. Yes, there is a second race directly after this where we inverse these guys and how they're driving. So very interesting, but man, the gap between 4th and 5th, that has seriously increased out there, and Hall has taken over P5.
Yeah, we have two very distinct groups of people. Almost looks like a splitting in groups in a super speedway. Honestly, we've got a pretty defined pack of 4 leading this race, and then that second pack still pretty well grouped up, those in 5th through 8th. So 2 really good battles for positions where if either leader of those groups messes up, they could lose a ton of spots. But it looks like we're getting close to having a battle for that podium position here, as Skylin has reeled back in Leaf Justin 24.
I know, I saw the little dots on the map there, and I'm like, I can't miss this. Skylin is all over the back bumper of Justin as they are making their way around the track here. Lap 12 of 18. This is really starting to heat up. Meanwhile, Rangers still in P1, Tom in 2nd. Leaf Justin, he's gonna find himself having to defend this podium as Skylin is really closing that gap up.
Yeah, Skylin really driving hard. Leaf Justin maybe struggling a little bit with tire wear. Who knows? Maybe they're a little heated at the moment. One issue I have here really bad is there's a lot of hard braking corners after long straightaways, and I was locking up the fronts really easy. So it's really really easy to lock up or hyper wear and put a lot of heat and temperature into those front tires, which can really hurt the balance of your race car. So. Not sure if that is affecting everybody. I don't think anyone's having an issue with front tires. Everyone's still sliding around pretty well right now.
I would say so. Stratus, you just lost so many points. Oh no. You hate to see it, but yeah. I'm waiting for this. I'm waiting for this when Skylin is just going to jump all over Justin, try to bring it side by side, try to go for the pass. Justin takes it a little wide, still hanging on to it, but you know, he's looking in that rear view mirror right now. Yeah, it is getting pretty intense out here. And then Skylin's gonna dive low. Here we go, side by side. I don't know if Skylin's gonna have enough. He's gonna tuck in behind. You know he is going to shove that into the corner, trying to make it work, and he proves me wrong right there, J-Mac.
yeah, that first corner, not really a passing zone. This one is, though. I imagine he's got a good run. He's going to look to the inside. Leaf Justin not going to throw a block. Skylin dodges it down into the corner, gets woe down. Justin kind of pinches him a little bit onto the grass. Skylin has to relent there. If he would have stayed in it, probably would have been some contact. He opted to let off and let Leaf Justin have the line back there. But I think that's going to be the move. He's so good through that tight section of the track and through the beginning. He made that dive bomb move into the last corner, but that's a really tough place to pull that off. As wide of an arc as that outside driver might get. So I think he's probably going to try that same move, try to get that run out of the first corner and dive bomb into that hairpin, which really is probably your best passing zone on the racetrack.
Well, you heard it right there.
Oh, he did it again. He got loose
yes.
one more time.
Oh, man. And the entire gap that he closed is gone. absolutely frustrating for Skyland. You know, he still got the series championship out here, but I know he was having fun in that battle. We'll see if he can't make his way back up, but these guys are headed to lap 14 out of 18. So it's coming down to the wire. If you're going to do it, you only have a few more laps here to do so. He didn't lose too terribly much time, but it is enough where I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do anything about it.
Yeah, that's just, again, that corner is so tough, and on a wheel, it just doesn't feel like the rear end is locked into the track at all. But right now, it looks like our best battle inside the top 5 is going to be between our 2 leaders, as Tom Flitty has pulled it within 2 seconds. Watching Rangers right now, he went really wide through the double right, really lit up the tires trying to get back onto the racetrack, and working his way around. But that gap is closing ever so slightly.
I want to take a look at the roof cam. You know, helmet cam, I don't think they have that here. I'm gonna try to see if we can find anything like that. You guys are asking for it. The helicopter cam here. My favorite is the replay or the game where I can just look around the car here. But this is our leader, Rangers. You can see Tom Flitty directly behind. He has since closed up the gap a little bit, as J-Mac says. Will it be enough to catch up to him and battle for the win here tonight for race number 1? We're gonna find out, but man, I feel like a lot of these races have come down to the final lap where these guys just really, anything can happen. I mean, we've seen it with Skyland twice, losing it through the same exact corner. And did you take a look at that time, J-Mac? A 1:28.4 as the fastest. These guys are flying out here.
Yeah, a little with our rules here that we have for track extending. It goes a little bit beyond what you're allowed for qualifying with the in-game limits. So they have a little bit more room to work with. Not a ton more, but a little bit more. But that little bit can mean a ton of time, a ton of lap time, with how much more of a run they can get off of the racetrack, and how much more track they can use on the entry into these corners, so they can get better runs and make up a lot of time.
A battle for 5th right here. Dion Ford was on the outside of Hall. They made a little bit of contact. Dion trying to hold on to it. He's coming back, trying to make a move for P5 once again. Lap 15 headed into lap 16. It is going to be very, very close for these two. This is going to be your closest battle on the track right now. And Dion, I don't know if you guys remember, but I mentioned a lot of races at the beginning, he was P6 quite a bit, and so far that's what he's sitting at right now. He's looking to make it P5, J-Mac.
Yeah, I think he's finished 6th in every race except for one. I think he finished 5th in one of our events, but he's working on that rear bumper of Hall M right now. But he's overworking the car. He sticks his left rears out in the sand. That's going to cost him a lot of time here, as they're going to be working 2 to go this next time around. But it looked, our battle for the lead is starting to tighten up there.
Let's bring it back to our top 2 guys. Yeah, Tom, he is really, really working at it. I want to take a look at the tire wear, what we have here. They're at 61% for the top left for Rangers. Let's take a look what we have for Tom Flitty out here. A lot less tire wear. I'm curious if that will affect Rangers at all. He did have the most tire wear that we saw earlier on. J-Mac says not going to really affect it. So I'm curious, are they going to be okay, finish this race out okay? Or are we going to see Rangers get a little loose, and that's going to allow Tom Flitty to really make a move here in a sec?
I mean, Tom's really picked up the pace. He's done a good job, and it really would make sense for tires to mean something, because it has looked like Rangers has really driven that car into the ground over the course of this race. So I feel like that might actually be affecting him at the moment, as we're taking the 2 laps to go this time around. White flag next time, but Rangers really working hard to try to hold on to that lead.
Man, oh man, it is really heating up. I'm getting nervous. I'm excited. You guys name it. What do you say? In chat, let me know. Is it gonna be Rangers or is it gonna be Tom Flitty? Both of them won last week. I do believe it was Rangers who won the first race and Tom who won the second. And here we are once again watching these guys battle it out, and it's going to be a wild one as we are approaching the final lap here. So Tom really driving it in. Rangers trying to hold on to it. Been very consistent. Tom really has the speed now, so we'll see what happens. Rangers tire wear is really starting to affect him, so it's going to be interesting. This final lap is going to be very telling.
Yeah, it really does seem like his those front tires he's really having to work on entry. It's looking like it. That's actually kicking him loose on exit from the way it looks. So that car definitely not handling, I think, like he wants it as they are working their way through the I don't know what that's called, the turn, the loop, the shoe. I don't know.
One of those turns.
I don't have a track map in front of me, but they're working their way near the drag strip, off the final corner to the start-finish line. The white flag will be out for Rangers and Tom Flitty as they are working some warm tires, trying to win this race.
Final lap here, and man, just look at that smoke as they are just putting on the brakes. King Noble says, I think Tom moves him in the last turn, last lap. Well, here we are. We are not to the final turn here just yet, but Tom is really working on him. We're gonna see if Rangers can hold him off. You know he is gonna do everything he can to get that second win. Same with Tom. Man, this is crazy. I don't know if he's gonna be able to do it, but it is going to come down to the line here, I do believe. I mean, these two are just gonna battle it out. They do it on every game. It doesn't matter what track, what car, what game. We see these two battle it out quite a bit. Let's bring the different camera angle here.
Faster.
Yeah.
I'm just a little faster, but he's going to have to get closer to be able to move him, as there's not really any hard braking corners to be able to pull it off here. Will Tom, he kind of overdrives. He's able to keep it on track, though, but he loses a little bit of time as the 11 was a little bit smoother through that right left turn. Oh, Tom really sent it in there, kind of diving in the corner to get a run, but he's not going to be able to pull it off. I think Rangers, unless he slips big time, I don't think Tom's going to be able to get to him.
Here we go around the final corner. Tom Flitty all over the back bumper. I don't think it's going to be enough. We're going to have Rangers, the first winner for Hockenheim National Circuit on the final race. Great job to him. We're going to have Tom Flitty in second. Let's see who's third. Leaf Justin. We're going to have Skyland in fourth. And let's take a look at the battle for fifth out here. You know what? No battle. Hall is all by himself. As long as he can hold it out, J-Mac, he's going to take the top 5 finish here.
Yeah, really, the battle is for sixth, but looking back, David has slid off track just a little bit there, so he is going to try to work his way up there. Not going to be able to make it, so I think Dion is pretty good to finish in that 6th spot with David at 7th, and Gary from Canada will come home in 8th in his little Hershey Kiss machine.
John B, thank you so much for coming out here. I appreciate it. Guys, we still have another race. We will talk to our top 3 drivers, so we'll have to get him in here. Justin holds out Skyland after a couple of mistakes he made, so our top 3 will be in the booth. That is Rangers, Tom, and Leaf Justin. Hall says, 5th place, my career best finish. Congratulations to you. All right, let's go over here and get these guys in the booth. There he is. We'll get him in here. All right. No, I don't want to quit the lobby. We got Rangers in here as our winner. Just so consistent tonight. 2nd win of the series. You know, I could say back-to-back winner as he won last week and the first race of this week also. So a huge congratulations to you, Rangers. Were you getting a little nervous out there as you saw Tom closing that gap?
Very nervous. Kind of got me out of my rhythm. watching the delta kind of get smaller and smaller as you got closer, kind of got to where like you're in a good rhythm where you're kind of putting the gas and putting the power down the same time, and then as you get closer, you kind of put the power down, try to put it down a little earlier, and try to get a little quicker, and you end up messing up and got a little wide a couple turns, but overall, it was fun. I enjoyed it.
You looked pretty good out there. Any thoughts or concerns heading into the next race as we inverse the selection here?
Just trying to get their traffic clean. I mean, that's just what it's gonna be.
Absolutely. Well, huge congratulations to you for your second win of the series and your win here tonight. You did a great job. Very consistent, so I'm excited to see what you can do out here for race number 2.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right, J-Mac, you want to give Tom Flitty our second place in interview?
Yeah, here with Tom Flitty, came home P2 in his race, started P2, had a strong race the whole time. Talk about the start. Start looked a little crazy, and then just trying to run down Rangers. What more did you need there to be able to run him down and make the pass for the lead?
Yeah, the beginning was kind of a little crazy. I tried to hold the outside there because Skyline and I started on the front row, and so I was just going to try to race them down there side by side. And actually, everybody got a really good start, and it was nice and even for both rows, so that was cool to see. But I think he just full sent it and tried to slide up, do a slide job, and I think he said at the beginning he was worried about because he didn't want to extend the track too much, so he checked up, and I just wasn't ready for it, and I just, plowed right straight into the back of him, and I guess that slowed him down a little bit, and I just kept kind of plugging through there, and at that point, Rangers was in the lead, and we were close, and he had it at the beginning, and I thought there was no chance that I was going to be able to run him back down, and I was like, okay, I just need to focus and hit my marks and just race the racetrack. And we almost got there, just one more lap. And I think we could have tried to put the bumper to him, but I don't want to wreck him or anything. It's always been fun racing with him. I've known him for about 10 or 12 years, so it's, always cool to race like this and race it out for wins. So I wish I could have gotten at least side by side for him, but it was still a lot of fun out there, and looking forward to the next race.
That is Tom Flitty, came home in second. He's gonna start 7th back there. We're gonna watch him come through the field here in the little damp conditions.
All right, Justin, rounding out the podium out here, doing a great job. Take us through your battle with Sky, and what was it like for you out there?
I guess pretty much what you saw. I had to start from the back because I botched both my qualifying laps, and being one of the only guys that solely practice running clean, that's kind of annoying to be the only one to not run clean in qualifying. So that was annoying. But yeah, I got up to Skyline after he had his little first turn issue, and watched he was a bit faster than me, so he'd pass me, and then he'd mess up, and he'd be behind me again, and then he'd pass me, and then he'd mess up, and then he'd get behind me again, and it was just kind of like, what are you doing? Like, those two were driving away. We were pretty close, I thought, to them. Got into, after he would messed up a couple of times, got kind of some clean track, and wasn't too far off. It was the bad start, and then it snowballed when, had battles with him and stuff. So I mean, it's a fun race. It's gonna be interesting with all of us coming from the rear this time, and so yeah, we'll see what happens.
I think so, but it was a really fun battle to watch with you guys, and you guys see it on screen. It is raining out there. The umbrellas are out, so it's gonna make things a little bit more wild for these guys. So I wish you all a ton of luck, and again, congratulations, Rangers, on the win. We'll see if we can bring home win number 2. Good luck, guys.
Woo, let's do this.
For the final time in this series, I'm a little sad. But we'll get them out there and see what they can do. Man, oh man, Hall, thank you so much for the cheers. 500 biddies. We'll say that is for P5, his best finish of the series. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. Bad Brains, Reteam Bandit gets a treat. Thank you so much. 49er, what's up? 36 months subbed. Wowzer. That's insanity. Absolutely. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, friend. Hope you're doing well. Man, it is raining out here. J-Mac, what give us the details. What do you think track conditions are going to be compared to race number 1 here?
Probably a little slick, probably a little oily. I'm not really sure how much that light rain is going to do. It's not going to get much slicker than that, but it should be a light drizzle throughout the entire race. I don't see much more on the radar, but just a little German shower here to end our season, and hopefully these guys can manage. They did really well last time we had a rain race. We had some changing conditions between our 2 races at Brands Hatch, and they went really well. So hopefully our drivers can keep it together and keep her on track and take care of each other out there. But it's going to be wild with our field completely inverted.
You heard it right there. J-Max said it's going to be wild, especially turn 1. We have these guys going inverse from what they did in race number 1 compared to how they finished. So it's going to be very interesting to see how these guys make it through the turns. You remember, it was a dry track for the last race, so they're used to a certain condition. I mean, they wore the tires out throughout the race, so things were changing for that. Now we're adding on fresh tires once again and rain, so it's going to definitely be slick. Not as slick and not as crazy as yesterday was in real life for the race, but man, definitely going to add more excitement to the race, a little bit of slipperiness, so we'll see how these guys can handle. Let me know, guys, are we gonna see Rangers get win number 2 of the night, win 3 of the series, or will we see someone else? Skyline already has it in the bag. He is the championship winner. We'll bring him in after this race and give him a big old congratulations for that, because man, he was on a roll. Guy is very, very strong out here, so I want to see what he can do too. I'm sure he learned a lot from race number 1. You saw him make a couple of mistakes that really cost him a podium finish out here, as Leaf Justin was able to hold him back. But will he be able to make a comeback tonight on race number 2? These guys will do a pace lap around, 17 more laps for the night. I'm excited. This is crazy. Add the rain, the umbrellas are out. The craziness is going to happen here. Gary from Canada will be leading us out. David in second. And we have Dion, Hall, all these guys. And first we have Skyland, Justin, Tom Tom, and then Rangers is going to be last.
I'm excited. This is going to be a wild start to this race. I think the slightly moist conditions are gonna make things real interesting for these guys as they're working their way around this track. Turn 1's going to be pretty crazy, but that turn 2 hairpin is going to be really wild, and hopefully these guys can get their braking zones down and get her figured out, and hopefully we don't have an 8-car wreck down there, but you know, anything's possible. You know, if we do, we'll throw a yellow and re-rack her and try her again.
Have we even had a yellow throughout the series? It has been so clean.
We had one at Monza. We had one yellow flag at Monza, and that's it.
Yeah, it has been very clean. I mean, and it has been a lot of tight battles out here. Turn 1 is always a thing, but these guys, they have a ton of fun out here and really respect each other. So I think it's going to be crazy, but I think they're going to do well. I'm curious, J-Mac, are we going to see Gary from Canada, our Hershey Kiss? Is he going to pull over, or is he going to race it out?
Oh, I absolutely hope not. I mean, he'll have the preferred line. He'll be able to get going here. Oh, they're already They're already struggling through that corner. This might be a little slicker than I thought it would be, but we're gonna find out here.
We're gonna find out. These guys are gonna be slipping. They're gonna be sliding. They're gonna get slideways through the corners. I think there's gonna be some contact, and we're coming around the final corner, getting ready to have the go for Hockenheim, race number 2 at the National Circuit. Get your umbrellas out. It is about to get crazy. Gary from Canada is going to lead us off. David is going to be directly next to him, and already it looked like we were about to go 4 wide. David is in the lead. Gary from Canada completely sideways. J-Mac, what is happening?
Yeah, Gary a little bit slow getting to the gears. He actually got started before David. David able to get through the gears a little better. Then he got taken 3 wide going into that first corner, and really had to do everything he could to keep off of Leaf Justin 24. Got into his right rear a little bit, but he had so much wheel or stick into it, and he had so much steering input into the race car that it got loose on him. Did an excellent job of holding on to it, but that moves him back to 8th after starting on the pole.
A ton of contact. Justin got into the back end of TomTom, who got into the back end of David, who pushed him out of the way. TomTom took the lead. David moved back to 2nd, who is now battling it out with Justin. Quite a turn of events. Meanwhile, our race winner from last race, he's all the way back in 7th, J-Mac.
Yeah, it's been a little crazy. There's a car wide down there in the back. Can't really tell who that was. Not sure if that was Dion.
I think it was Dion.
It was the machine of Dion. So yeah, but David doing an excellent job out here in the rain. From Ireland. The weather out in that area always a little dark and gloomy. And he's doing an excellent job out there, holding on to that 2nd spot as they make another lap. But TomTom Flitty really doing an excellent job lugging out on the field. Leaves Justin with an aggressive move to try to make the pass there in turn 1. Not a good passing zone, but he makes it work, and he will take the 2nd spot away from David. Now he's got his sights set on TomTom Flitty.
Yeah, Skyland makes his way on by. David is going to move back to P4. Rangers has moved up to P5. These guys are going to start working on TomTom Flitty, trying to close that gap. Justin, he wants a win here, man. He's been working on it, been in the podium, top podium finishes here for quite a few races. He really wants this win. We'll see if he can't pull it off, but Skyland is all over his heels. Rangers, who is moving up through the field quickly. He is approaching these guys very quickly as he's trying to make his way around David.
Right now, so far, these drivers actually doing a great job managing the slightly wet conditions. Not sure how much it's affecting. Probably not quite enough to really oil up the track too much, but it's doing just enough to look good on the old broadcast. But meanwhile, TomTom Flitty continues to pull away from these guys. He is putting on a heck of a pace as Leaf Justin in 2nd looks to be putting down some good lap times. He's maintaining his gap on Skyland and Rangers, but Tom really doing an excellent job at the start of this race.
Yeah, I mean, he had a great restart here for race number 2, was able to make his way through traffic, make it through, and once he did that, the air was clean, and he just went out there, and he is just putting down the times, hoping to keep everyone behind him. We'll see if he can't do that, as he's doing a terrific job so far. Let's take a look at Justin, who is currently P2 at the moment. He's got is about 3.5 seconds behind Justin, so quite a bit of distance between these guys right now. But Skyland is really working on Justin, as we have Rangers working on Skyland, so this battle is really heating up for P2. These guys are going to go for it all, which, J-Mac, I think that is going to allow TomTom to perhaps get away a little bit more.
Yeah, if that battle for 2nd does start up, then yeah, that's going to be that's going to be the best thing TomTom can see. If that 24 can hold off the 49 of Skyland. Skyland hasn't had the performance we're used to seeing out of him tonight. A couple of slides. I wonder if he's maybe trying to be a little careful. He was real slick into that right-hander into the little loop at the end of the track. I need to look at a track map so I know my turn numbers here, so I don't sound like a complete fool. But yeah, they're driving hard, doing a good job. These three still all over each other, and Justin closed the gap a little bit on
He
Tom.
did.
It seemed to be by about a half a second there that previous lap.
Yeah, he is definitely closing the gap down, but Skylin is not letting him get away. So I'm curious, by the time that he closes that gap down, perhaps Skylin is going to be ready to battle it out. So we may have a battle for the lead between 4 guys, which would be absolutely insane. But J-Mac, I'm kind of seeing the same thing that we saw last race. We have the top 4 guys, and then we have a huge gap. And then we have the next 4 guys. So it looks like for that, this is going the same way as race number 1. A lot of battles in between these 4 guys and these packs, but definitely a thing is happening again.
Yeah, we got 2 groups of 4. Really, that's reflective of our difference in experience levels, skill levels. We have drivers again have never raced on they've never been forced to not use their full suite of assists that this game allows. But I mean, drivers like David, who as we've noted is incredibly competitive, doing an excellent job in that fifth position right now, holding off Hall, and we have seen that a lot this season. These 2 drivers all over each other, very equal in speed, really all season, and it's been real fun to watch these battles between these 2 in these positions as they're battling for a top 5 spot here tonight.
Absolutely. Looks like these 3 are really close together too. Dion takes it super wide, but looks like David is going to be P5, Hall in P6, and Dion at P7 right now with Gary. He's out there at P8, but still trucking along.
Oh, Justin with a mistake. Justin makes a big mistake out in second spot. Goes real wide in the double right, able to keep it out of the wall, able to get back going again in the gravel trap, but that's going to cost him second spot. He falls back to the 4th position. That moves Skylin up into second, and that is a driver, if I'm TomTom, I would not want to see with clean air as Skylin going to be looking to try to take that win and get one more win to cap off his dominant season so far in Season 1 of the EuroNASCAR League.
Tough break for Justin out there. That has put him pretty far behind that pack, kind of in the center of both packs. Not what you want to see here, but that is going to clean out the gap for Skylin. He's just got a straight street away, trying to catch up to TomTom. We'll see if he can do it, but you see Rangers behind him, and if you recall, those 2 had some rivalry happening last race, so we'll see if anything happens with that, as Rangers might be battling for second with him.
Yeah, and I was kind of wondering if that might have been the cause of half the field going wide in turn 1 that previous race. If maybe the 11 gave a little bumper to the 49, but from what we heard in our post-race interviews, that might not have been the case. If we get the chance to talk to Skylin, we might find out. But either way, right now Skylin really closing that gap, made up a second already through half of a lap on TomTom Flitty. That 49 machine is flying around this racetrack as he's trying to catch and run down that 8 of TomTom Flitty, and probably trying to run away a little bit from that 11 if that 11 doesn't consider the scores even yet. But this is going to be a problem area of the track. We saw Skylin trying to run drivers down the previous race. He got loose here in this corner, this right-hander, really having to pedal through there. You can really see he didn't even get down to the apex of the corner, really trying to be easy on the wheel through that turn. But they're working their way around the track. They're going to have 11 laps to go next time they cross the line.
Absolutely. You know, when you were battling it out and you said Skylin caught him a little bit, I saw TomTom Flitty right before you said that get really loose coming off the corner exit, and I do believe that is what caused him to lose some time out here. A couple of more mistakes like that, and Skylin will be on the heels of TomTom Flitty as he is trying to make his second win of the season. Skylin, who is our series winner, he's going to try to grab another win before this series is over. And SnB, I'm so glad you like it. That's awesome. I'm happy to do it for you. Man, the amount of paint schemes I put out though, it is insane. It is insane. Symphony, what's up? He says EuroNASCAR this season doesn't have Toyotas anymore. You know, I'll be honest, I don't follow it a whole bunch, but it has been a blast to see these guys take on these tracks. You see the NASCARs at the ovals. This is just something a little different.
We have 3 drivers right on top of each other for 5th right now. David still holding on to that spot, but David and Hall have been wanting, or Dion and Hall have been wanting it for a while. And Dion poking his nose underneath. They make contact. He shunts the 89 out of the way. David able to hold on to it. Dion in a very aggressive move into the corner. An excellent save by David, but I think if that 89 could get back up to him, I think there might be some payback in order there. But me and Dion able to pull away. That's cost David 2 spots. He's back to 7th. Now Hall, he's looking his shop, seeing an opportunity to try to maybe get back into the top 5 and pass Dion.
Yeah, Dion jumped all over that and put the bumper to David there, but he is on the run. P5, Hall P6, and we have David in P7, still super close together. I'm looking at the map, and 1st through 3rd, still a little bit of gap between each other, and then you have Justin back there. But man, this battle for 5th is absolutely insane, starting to increase the gap a little bit as they kind of had a little thing going on right there. But man, that was maybe a little nervous there.
Yeah, Hall got loose out of turn 1. Dion previously in that last little section, he got loose, had to basically cut through the grass to try to save it. Hall got right back to his bumper. Dion getting super loose through the corner. That's going to cost him a lot of time. Hall's going to get around him on the left side. Now David going to work to his right side. So these 3 continue to leapfrog positions as they head into the corner. How hard are they going to get in? Dion gets in really hard, able to get down.
Wow.
To speed. David not going to be able to stay underneath him. So a good move by Dion into that corner to hold on to that 6th spot. But now these guys continuing on to sprint slide, battling hard for that 5th spot is Hall. He gets a little loose with a little too much throttle.
Yeah, I'm seeing David get sideways. I'm seeing Dion get sideways, and Hall getting sideways. And all the while, these guys are battling it out. All 3 of them for P5. They all won it. You heard Hall. This was his best finish. P5 of the last race. Dion diving it really, really deep underneath. Not able to grab the position. David just trying to hold on, saying, you know what? You guys battle it out. I'm going to try to take what I can when you guys mess up. And it is going to be possible because these guys are really pushing the limits right now. Dion getting a little loose right there, a little wide, and that's going to allow Hall to increase the gap, but Dion diving it in, trying to close that gap. Will he be able to hold on to it as David is right behind him, waiting to close that up? This is intense, J-Mac. Oh my gosh.
Intense for the 5th spot. These 3 all on top of each other, and each one of them just trying not to make mistakes as they're working their way around the track. It has to be pretty slippery out there. As much as these guys are sliding around, that little bit of rain must be affecting the track a tiny bit. And these guys are just trying to get used to it, trying to get acclimated to it, but they're also starting to wear their tires just a little bit. So the sliding going to continue. Dion gets in real deep into the corner, uses Hall to help him make the turn. He's going to move up to 5th. Hall going to give him a little tap in the rear end and say, hey, bud, brother, you'd not use me as a brake in the corner. They're going to go through the turn. Dion now back up into that 5th spot. Hall into the 6th spot.
I gotta
David's
take
right
it.
there still.
Yeah, they are all over it, but we have a battle for the lead right now. Also, TomTom Flitty and Skylan. Take a look at this. Skylan has closed that gap. He is on the inside of TomTom Flitty, trying to go around the corner. Really taking up all the track that he can for TomTom. Trying to...
Tom gets the curb.
Yeah, oh my gosh, completely side by side as we are coming up to the next corner here, which is going to be preferred line to Skylan. We'll see how these guys can make it around, but man, look at this battle, J-Mac. This is insane. I don't even know. Can TomTom hold it out as he takes it a little wide?
Oh, Yeah, he goes in a little too deep there too. He got a little wide, then had a little too much speed into the corner, had to lift, or he was going to wipe probably himself and Skyland both out. Skyland able to complete that pass, move him to the lead after an excellent move there, and it all started with that movement of turn one. He's able to break into that corner a lot deeper than some of these other drivers are, and that was able to get him alongside Tom, and then from there it was just patience to be able to complete that move a little later around the track. But Tom really working those rear tires hard to try to get back to the rear bumper of this 49 machine, but not able to do it. Skyland is going to lead this lap as they are going to be at 7 laps to go when they cross the line.
And take a look at this. All the while that they are battling it out, Rangers is now in the mix, up in the top 3 right here, directly on the heels of Tom Flitty. And I do have to give a shout out. Rick, thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. Hope you guys are enjoying this race. It is absolutely insane. The finale for SnB's EuroNASCAR series. 2 races each night, 12 races total. This is it right here. Skyland has the series championship locked. He is going for another win here. Tom was hoping to get a win. Can he get it back? Rangers just won the last race. It is just absolutely wild, J-Mac.
Yeah, last week, Rangers won our first race. Skyland won, or Tom won race 2. Now Skyland trying to prevent a little deja vu after Rangers won race 1 tonight, as Tom really working hard, but he's falling back from the 49 machine. Rangers gonna be looking at his rear bumper here as Skyland trying to pull away. Really doing a good job after that last race. After as slick as he seemed to be, as loose as that car seemed to be, he's really reeled it in, holding a pretty wheel around here, doing a nice job even with the damp conditions. But that battle for second, it's going to be heating up soon, I think. Oh, nope, Rangers goes a little wide, so that's going to give up a little gap. Everybody around this track in this race is working really hard, and I absolutely love to see it.
Absolutely. This rain is really putting another factor into the race. Meanwhile, J-Mac, I don't know what happened to Dion, but he is sitting in 8th currently. Quite a bit of gap between the final 4 drivers. We have Hall in 5th. Let's take a look at him as he's making his way around. We have David in 6th, who's holding out strong. We have Gary from Canada. He's sitting P7. And Dion, who was in the mix for battling it out in P5, he's now in P8.
Yeah, Gary right now in that 7th spot. Probably going to expect Dion to be able to pass him here in a few laps, but a nice run here. And I mean, he's considering his respective pace compared to our leaders at the beginning when he started running with us in week 2. He's really closed that down a little bit. So Gary improving every week. And then once again, we just want to take off our hats in memoriam of Element Zero, Tristan Health, wherever he is, our Bitcoin man, as Gary from Canada, carrying the colors of Elements Gold and Silver. Wherever you are, we're thinking of you, whatever you're doing.
We gave him such a hard time. He actually did he do 1 or 2 races at, well, I know he did 2, but did he?
Yeah,
okay.
He raced 1 race, and he was in the booth for 1 race, and he raced in 1 week. So he was with us for two races. And then he went off into somewhere
into
else.
Element
Wherever
Land.
he is.
Yes.
Yeah, wherever he is, shall remember him fondly.
Absolutely.
Or not so fondly, one of the two.
One of those two. McFly, what's up? How are you? I'm so excited you're going to be in the charity race. You got a team. I saw that out there. I'm pumped. I am super pumped. You guys, we have a huge charity race over on iRacing. It's going to happen in July, so it's going to be a wild one. I'm super pumped. More details to come on that one. Keep your eyes out. Skyland in the lead. We have Tom Flitty in 2nd, Rangers in 3rd, and as J-Mac said, I think is getting ready to come up with another battle here for the lead. Skyland does have the championship series locked in, but that doesn't mean he's got this win for this race locked.
Yeah, he had a small bobble, and that allowed the aid of TomTom to actually make up a lot of ground. Tom really gets in a really hard, locks up brakes, slides the right rear, able to hold on to it. Oh, Rangers
Oh,
sticks his nose to the inside. Tom kind of has to relent the position. That's going to end up putting him in the grass, and that's going to allow Rangers to move up to that second slot. And now we're going to watch a driver on fire as we are going to watch Rangers and Skyland try to battle out for this win. Rangers probably going to work harder than he's worked in forever trying to run down that 49 machine. Remember last week in race 2, those two, a little bit of contact, Rangers getting the worst end of the stick there, and some damage, or not, maybe not damage, but he lost some position, maybe cost him some points. E is going to be a man on fire trying to run down that 49 machine.
yeah, that is most definitely a man on a mission. We'll see if he can't make it happen. He just won the last race. Will he make it another one tonight and make it 2 in a row? We'll see. But man, oh man, we've seen a couple of drivers make a few mistakes that has cost them a position and a lot of time. So Justin, we saw earlier, he is still back there in P4 from an earlier incident where, he just lost it on the track. And I don't know, J-Mac, that he's going to have any time. We're on lap 15 of 18. I think he's got P4 pretty well secured as long as he can hold it out. TomTom Flitty just made a mistake, is going to fall back to P3. Still in the mix here, but he's got a lot of work ahead of him. Rangers in second to... we'll see if he can battle it for the lead. But Skyland, it looks like he is going to be the one to beat. And we only have a few laps left there, J-Mac.
Yeah, 3 laps to go right there at the line as Skyline continuing. He's legging out this gap just a little bit. Woo! Gets a little loose there in turn 1. Drove it through there hard. Got her on the turtles, trying to use those bumps to help make the car corner. Maybe almost a little too much, but able to hold on to it. He's going to go down into turn 2. Really looking smooth. This is the market improvement out of the 49 car from race to race has been pretty cool to see, as he's really got that thing under him now, as they're going to work their way into the little hairpin here, cutting off the part of the Grand Prix course. He's gonna make the double right. Looks nice and smooth. Gets it down to the apex. Power off. Looking really good as he's pulled away about 3/10 since the start of the lap.
And I'm taking a look at the tires once again. Skyland, he just really has tire management down here. I know you say it doesn't affect it much, but I've heard a couple of drivers throughout the series saying, and once I hear that you get past the 70% mark, you really do start to feel it. Rangers, he's headed there. He's got the most tire wear out of all 3 of the top drivers here. So I'm curious if that is going to affect him on his way trying to battle it up to the front. It's going to be interesting to see, but he really just pulls every stop out that he can to make any move that he can. And it looks like TomTom Flitty might be catching him.
And TomTom might be catching him, and a note on the tire wear, as you can tell a difference between controller and wheel. The 2 controller drivers,
Absolutely.
Rangers and TomTom Flitty, they're wearing the front ends, and Skyland, as we noted as we saw in that previous race, how loose he was, how slick he was. That the rears are the tires that are wearing just a little bit more, but his overall wear is a little better, even though that wear is on the rear end. So you can tell that it's just a little bit looser to wheel that wheel around than it is to try to pilot the controller around. But he's doing a great job managing his stuff, and Rangers, like you noted, he goes full brake into every corner. He drives the absolute fire out of those front tires, and it's probably as it's 66%. Once you get that first alert at 70%, then it does start to fall off. You do start to lose that bit of grip, and once you get to 80, that's when you're probably going to need to pit. I don't think he'll get there, as there's only 1 lap to go next time at the line, but he's really gotten all of the good out of those tires that he possibly can.
Absolutely. You know what? I'm looking at the battle here for 7th. Dion made his way up to Gary, but kind of lost it again. Lost that gap that he had, but Gary going to try to hold on to P7 here at the moment. We'll see if he can do so as Dion has caught back up. He tends to get really loose coming out of those corners, and that really hurts him. You can see him completely sideways right there as he's trying to save it, and that has been where it has hurt him the most throughout these races tonight.
Yeah, it's seeing that guy up in front of you and wanting to get that run so you can beat him into the braking zone to pass him. And Gary goes wide, but yeah, that's just trying too hard to set up for the next corner, to set up that turn, and it's bitten him a couple of times here in these wet conditions. But we're about halfway through the final lap. Skyland continuing to lead. Rangers soundly in that second spot with Tom Flitty not too far behind him. I think Rangers might have had a small bobble that allowed Tom to get back to him, but right now our top three looking pretty tight, but not tight enough yet.
Not tight enough. Skyland, just a couple of more corners left, and he's going to be the winner here for race number 2 at Hockenheim National Circuit, and the champion of the series for the EuroNASCAR series. Really incredible to watch. This guy has just been so consistent throughout all these races. So fun to see right here. We'll bring him around the corner and let him get his victory lane in here as he is about to cross the line on the final corner. Skyland, he is your winner here at Hockenheim National Circuit and your championship series winner. Congratulations to him. Meanwhile, we have Rangers taking it home. P2, he's going to round out, Tom Flitty's going to round out the top 3.
Yeah, Tom doing some burnouts down the front straight there a little bit. Pretty fun to watch, but Leaf Justin will come home in that 4th position with Hall in 5th. And David in 6th, but the battle is going to be between Gary and Dion for that 7th spot. Gary is still able to hold him off and has a 2.8 second advantage over him at the moment. But just to go back to Skyland, a really dominant season. By far won the most races, won over half the races that we put on. An excellent season out of him, but just an excellent way to cap off the year. Actually, I think he won exactly half of the races. I don't have the standings up in front of me exactly, but I think that was his 6th win of the year. So
I'm pretty sure you're correct. Yeah,
so,
he did a phenomenal
great way to
job.
cap it off.
Absolutely. Looks like Gary is going to secure P7 for this final race. Dion. He got so loose. Yeah, he got.
He's burning her out.
Poor guy.
He's burning her down now. Oh, that car's in pain. And there goes some green tires.
It's not going well for him in this final part.
He's just doing some victory.
Yeah, he's like, okay.
When he gets hit by Skyland's AI, you hate to see it.
Oh my gosh. Hall, thank you so much for the 500 biddies. We're going to go ahead and get these winners out here into the booth. A great series finale for these guys. They did an absolute phenomenal job. We'll get Skyland in here. He is the race winner and also the championship series winner. And Rangers, where's Rangers at? Here we go. And we'll get Tom Flitty. Skyland, you had an incredible race out there. You are the championship series winner for the SnB EuroNASCAR series. A huge congratulations to you. And also, you just added to your win count over here. So a huge congratulations on that. How was that final race, trying to make it your way through traffic and secure that win here?
It was really tricky. The track was just slick enough to ruin all of my tricks from the previous race. And I was having a lot of trouble getting the time back out of the car. And I'm looking at my lap times. It doesn't look like I ever really found extra time. I guess I was just more consistent or something, because my lap times were pretty stable. And like when I was chasing Justin, I could not gain time on him. So stayed clean, stayed consistent, and had a good battle with Tom. ran away terrified from Rangers because I thought he was going to move me, and he'd have every right to if he did. So it was fun. That was a fun race. Good choice on the setup again, J-Mac. And thanks for putting this whole thing on.
You did a great job. It was really fun watching you out there. So consistent race after race. So huge congratulations again for the win here tonight, and also the championship. You did great. All right, over to you, J-Mac.
Yeah, we're here with Rangers. Backed up his win in the first race with the coming from the back to finish second here in race number 2. Talk about your race, working your way through the field, and did the conditions change anything really that much out there for you guys?
I mean, overall the race wasn't too bad. It was kind of take your time the first couple laps, take through traffic, but got that done. Took advantage of Justin and Tom messing up there, in the right place at the right time, and we brought her home P2. But overall, like, I mean, the car pretty much drove the same. It was a little slick in some different places, but most of the braking points were the same. So, but overall, it was fun. I enjoyed it.
That is our second place finisher, and I believe with the points night he had, might have been able to lock up P2 in the overall standings. Going to have to check that out, but I think my quick math has that right. But anyways, an excellent job out of Rangers, and back over to you, Frozen.
All right, we have Tom Flitty rounding out the podium here. So fun watching you race throughout this series. And man, I said it earlier, but no matter what car you're in, no matter what game, you are always so competitive. And we've seen it here throughout the series once again. Take us through your race on the second one. How did the rain affect you out there?
Oh man. Well, first of all, big thank you guys, for putting this on and everything, Without you guys, we wouldn't even be here doing it in the first place, and being able to have fun like that and experience these EuroNASCAR, tracks and everything, especially in the rain. I gotta say, I don't know if I psyched myself out or if it was like a placebo effect or what, but it felt more slick to me at the beginning, and I was just convinced that it was way more slick than what it actually was. Like once Skyline passed me, and once I drove off the track after I was near Rangers and everything, I kind of settled in, but I didn't really have any pressure at that point. Jumped out to a good lead at the beginning. I had a hell of a restart. I don't know how we made that work, but we were 3 wide, and then me, Dion, and Justin were 3 wide all the way down the straightaway, and it was just kind of a chess match to see who was going to break first. And you know, amazingly, we made it through there pretty cleanly, and it was a lot of fun while doing it. Wish I could have gotten the victory, but man, those other guys are just they're fast. Like don't think they're not. Don't think Skyline was just at the right place at the right time. He was moving. Rangers has been fast all season long. Justin, I wish he could have gotten a win. Or actually, didn't he go? Did he win? I don't even remember, but either way, a lot of these guys had one hell of a season, and it was a lot of fun. It was more fun than what I ever could have expected, to be honest, and hopefully we do it again.
Absolutely. You heard it from these guys out here. They had a blast. Did so great with under the conditions that we gave them, the rain and the battling, inversing the field. It's been so much fun. I thank you guys for tuning in and supporting these drivers. It's been a blast. J-Mac, this has been your baby, so a huge congratulations for all that you accomplished in the series. It's been a lot of fun with you once again in the booth.
Yeah, it was a blast, and like I said, we have a little bit of an idea now for this season. I maybe we can make some tweaks if we ever get around to a season 2, but for something that we just kind of threw together as to have something that we thought might be entertaining, I thought it went pretty well, and I'm very proud of what we were able to accomplish here. But wouldn't be able to do that without you or Justin helping me, because y'all have actually run leagues before and I never have. So again, thank y'all Thank y'all. Yeah, I probably need to be a little more active as an owner. But there's a lot of things I can improve on. But uh, again, thank y'all. Thanks again to everyone who came out to race, and thanks to all of you out there who are watching this and supporting this. Hopefully we put on some good shows. I think we did, but at the end of the day, y'all are the gauge that we're looking at here. How many of y'all enjoyed it? But thank y'all, and I'll stop talking now.
All right, guys, that is it. I want to give another huge congratulations to Sky on his win in the Championship Series win. Great job out there. And that's it for us. Be on the lookout. We are going to have an IndyCar series coming up very, very soon on Monday nights. So I think that's going to be season 5 or 6. It's going to be a blast, and I can't wait to have it open up once again. Until then, you guys have a great night, and thank you for everything. You guys take it easy.